So
Yeah, so
another thing I
fun.
wanted to ask you, just an update, because like yeah, the last time we talked, you were telling me you were like teaching kids at a school. Were you teaching science or not?
I've been doing pre-algebra mostly. I mean, I
Okay.
did a couple little oobleck things, but the summer came, so and then also COVID was causing everything to shut down. So I've been doing private, like the Brittany's kids. I teach the kid. He's 6 years old. I've been teaching pre-algebra. So it's pretty rad because he's autistic slightly, and so he's genius. Like his capacity to do long division at 6 years old is better than I was at ninth grade, and I was pretty decent, I thought. So it's pretty awesome watching this kid learn how to do and see things differently, and he does fractions, and he can do, do negative subtraction, double negatives. He's like really, on top of it. So it's been kind of interesting to me to watch how people learn. But it's summertime now, so we've kind of stepped into the I was a lifeguard in California, so I've been trying to teach them how to swim more. And I was like, dude, today it was funny in the lake. I was like, monkey, airplane, soldier. Monkey, airplane, soldier. I was like, I got this, But yeah, I mean, it's pretty weird hanging out with 6-year-olds, man, because like they're super emotional. Like 6-year-olds are basically people on. It's like you're trip sitting for someone on like 10 doses every day. They're just like, I want to play my game. It's like, it's gonna be all right. It's like, I want my. It's like, chill out. And then other times it's like, do you remember that time I farted? You're like, dude, you need to relax. Like 4 to 6, like it's a lot to handle.
Yo, that's interesting, man. That's like my observation, a new one. So, Andreas, you've been doing all of this, like different kind of jobs, and from lifeguard to this like a teacher, And we talked with Tarek about this yesterday. I was just asking, like, what was the most fascinating, like, favorite work of yours that you've done in your life? And he was like, I cannot recall it. I don't know, And I don't know that I can even do something for a long period of time, like be like a writer for 25 years or some shit. So, yeah, what is the essence? Is this perception of work being done in in your whole lifetime gonna stay present, or we would change to this like mode, like, I'm a teacher this year, and tomorrow or like next couple of years I'm gonna be doing like research on tertiary, in academia.
Fundamentally, what I do and I like to do is like I like to learn and I like to make videos about what I learned that are funny, and like I want people to see them. And I learn from making a lesson, so that's also it helps reintegrate it into really hold on to the information. And I do what I have to do so that I can do that. So like I've worked for Nano-Engineering. I got a degree in engineering for doing graphene. I worked in South America for water purification. Worked on the YouTube, stuff. I've worked for TV stations. I worked for CNN. I was the social media strategist, so I ran their social media. When I was 13, I used to digitize and clean scratches off of records because no one could do it at that time at where I was except for me. So I've done a lot of these things, but really at the end of the day, what I want to do is I have a projector. I make movies. If I had more money, I'd make movies for a while, and I probably wouldn't do it forever because it's exhausting. But if I had like $300,000, I'd make a movie right now. If I had $20,000, I'd make a movie right now. It's like I'm constantly not able to do stuff like that. So what I like to do is go travel, film stuff, and I'll do that for the rest of my life. And other things I'll do for the rest of my life is make YouTube videos and make art and make music and have fun making, fixing computers, making Raspberry Pis that are overclocked and that do emulate Dreamcast games. And I'm helping the Zemu group try to hack the Xbox so you can emulate Xbox games by original. Like I just have weird passions that I like to work on GitLab projects and do Linux stuff. So it's like the thing that I would do for a while and then I would quit again. Those are the things that I don't like. It's like, who wants to really save people's life all the time? My mom was a OBGYN doctor, so she was always rushing off to save people's lives. So I learned really early on, like, I don't want, don't hurt yourself working. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Don't. And a lot of people hate that. Like, I heard these people, Germans, they get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's just like, you lazy ingrate, you disrespect work that you would say that. I'm like, no. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, work. Like, you got out of the Garden of Eden, and God's like, you're broken. Here's some medicine. Like, work. Like, you can make it like the garden. You can fix it. Work is good. You know, enjoy the fruits of your labor. But like, don't work so hard that you hurt yourself on purpose. Like, because you don't need to. And I've seen it so much where people like get off on working. It's like a drug, and it's like, dude, you know, like, it's not healthy, and it makes you angry, and it like ages you. And it's like, try to find bliss, and like, bliss is like, you know, try to find it without doing heroin, and try to find it in a way that doesn't hurt people, and try to find it in a way that makes it more sustainable for other people. And you'll be exhausted by the end of the day trying to do that, and you'll also have had a good time. And so it's like, you know,
like our work trying to get you on this podcast. You know, how many?
I can't believe, you know, you put out a lot of positive energy. That's all I gotta say. That you were able to make this work. It's like fireworks going off right now. Okay, I'm at a lake. Thank you for making me do this, though, because it was awesome. I love that we did this. This is awesome, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
No, good. I don't want to end this conversation because
who said it's over? Who said it's over? Nobody said it's over.
I mean, you know, question me a bit, but the problem is I didn't bring my power cable, so that's the thing, is it's gonna die, and it's about 10% left on my battery. But we should also do these. We should also do these again. Like, this is like not my greatest coherency level, because I had to work on a lot of stuff today, let's say.
No, it was
so we're about like 2 hours away from normal Andreas, you know, where he crashes.
No, I can button my shirt, I can like shave, like there's a whole different Andreas. A Mormon Andreas. You haven't even seen it.
Crazy, but I'm glad that you brought this like Raspberry Pi. I just want to touch on this a little bit. It's like microprocessors and stuff, and the way that technology brings this possibility to create some crazy stuff like robotics greenhouse. You know, like before we need to have like this fucking 10 engineers and make it analog, you know, and now I can do this myself, you know, just watch some YouTube videos and do it. So I guess all of these new technologies, they not just replace all the occupations, all kind of, you know, styles of working, but they bring some new stuff as well. So what I want to say is that there's, because like my mom, she's like, oh, Fedor, you got to graduate from this school. You're going to find a good job. You're going to work there as like a coder. And I was like, yo, mom, it doesn't work like that anymore. You're like, you got lagged out in that time, you know?
It depends, man. To be honest, if I wanted a real job, I could have one. Like, if you know how to use Linux, you can still get a job. When it comes down to, especially, it's like, it could be better. It's true. Because at the end of the day, once all software is free, then it goes back to being like cable repairman, TV repairman, radio repairman. Back in the old days, you could bring any TV to any repairman, and any repairman had all of the different tubes and all of the different equipment, and he could fix any TV. So you're going to have a refrigerator Sears Roebuck installer guy who shows up at your house and he installs Linux on your refrigerator and on your car and on whatever. And it's like, he can be trained in certain ways that you don't have to be, because it takes a long time to get something perfect. But like, once I've got it working, it's perfect. Like, the Raspberry Pi right now is better at playing any game than any of the 20 or 30 systems that were made that it's copying. I've got Neo Geo, N64, whatever. Macintosh, 1997, Prince of Persia. Like, all of that stuff plays better because I made a machine that copies it, only it has more of every feature and everything. It's all, so it's like, so one step, but that took me like weeks, man. Like, I got this game Tumba, like some Japanese company went bankrupt in like 1999 or 2000. That game is $360 to buy right now, used. So I had to like find a file that was in Japanese, and I had to Google translate the text file. And I had to
bro, you could ask me,
MDF.
Man.
Now it works, is the point. And
no,
so
I meant for the Japanese. You know, I could have translated for you.
Oh yeah, that's legit. That's actually probably a good idea. I'll send you the text file and you can go over it. That's smart, because I didn't ever even look at it until I was playing it. I'm like, okay, this is English, I think it's called, right? Like, where it's all your base or belong to us. But people still do that. I translate files all the time because there's all these Japanese games that didn't get released in the US.
Yeah.
There's all these homebrew games too, and it's like, once the 3D games came out, 2D games stopped, and there were still really cool 2D games. So like, now that all this other stuff can be opened back up, I just got this thing. I'll have to show you sometime. It's a chip that plugs into the it's a cartridge into the Sega Genesis that connects it to a MIDI controller for a keyboard and for MIDI. So I can make music, and all the music's coming out of a Sega, and it just sounds like it's like really sweet.